Hey, welcome back to the Crochet Crowd live here home studio. I'm your host Mikey, and today we're going to be working on the pig. So the pig is a combination of the cat as well as the unicorn. So just like the unicorn and the cat, it's the same all the way up until the 4-inch mark, just below the neckline, and then we go on in different directions. So I'm going to be jumping in and out of the cat video and the unicorn video today in order for you to do the pig, and I'm going to rely on you to put it together at the end. So today we're going to cover on how to do the pig body. We're also going to cover the clover hoofs that are the same as the unicorn, right? And then the snout is also the same as the unicorn. We're going to cover the pigtail, which is new, and then you get to be putting that together. So without further ado, we're going to head right on into the cat first, do up to the neckline, which is exactly the same pattern as the pig, and then from there I'll take you then even further as we work from the neck up. So let's get started.
So let's begin with the slip knot, and you want to be a little bit loose in the very beginning one here, the chain. So just pull up a little bit of extra slack. You will regret it if you don't. So chain 2, so 1, so just give it a little bit more, and 2. Second chain from the hook, we're going to begin round number 1, and we're going to put 8 single crochets in the first second chain from the hook. So let's count those out together. So we're going to 1 and 2, 3, go right up over that straggler. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I want you to hold there for a second, and I need you to grab a stitch marker. In my case, I'm just going to use some spare yarn, and I'm just going to pull it from a ball here, and I'm going to use this marker here to pull it up onto the project. So just go in the stitch that you just last finished, and just go right up underneath the stitch and just pull the strand through. So every time you go around this project, you're going to want to move the stitch marker up, and so you will see a line going through it. So if you look at my other project I did here, you can see my stitch marker is being dragged up. So now we're going to move on to round number 2. So tighten it back onto the hook. Notice that I did not slip stitch. So you want to work in a continuous round, and this next round is really going to be critical. So let's begin round number 2. So I'd like to begin, and we need to do 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. There's going to be a total of 16 stitches, and I'm going to show you the way that I would count it if I were you. So you can count back. You know that you just put in 8, so you can count back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you're not sure, because you know, if you never played with this yarn before, start in the very first one, and this is how I would count it. I would go 1, so you gotta put 2 singles into each. So 1 and then 1. Go to the next stitch. 2 and 2. Next stitch. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. And then 5 and 5 and 6 and 6 and 7 and 7, and look, that last one is on the 8th one, and this will be 8 and 8. And before you go any further, I want you to do that last one we just did. Move that stitch marker up, so grabbing that straggler and pulling it through. Don't pull it all the way through, just enough. So don't pull it all the way out, just let it hold, and then you've just now commenced round number 2. So now we're gonna get a little bit faster in this tutorial because I'm gonna tell you the repeats, and then that's what you're gonna do all the way around. So round number 2 is now complete. So round number 3, we're going to begin, and we're gonna put 2 single crochets in the first one and then 1 into the next. So 2 and then 1, that's our repeat. So we start off in a regular stitch, so 1 and 2 into the first stitch, and then 1 by itself. So how I remember it is that I say 1 and 2 into the first stitch, and then 1 into the next. So if you're doing this correctly, the very last stitch that you will have when you review this pattern will be 1 single crochet, and that's just a matter of keeping it in time with the pattern. So remember, it's 2 into 1 and then 1 into the next, and all the way around. Please do that. This is round number 3. So I'm just finishing up round number 3. So there's 1 into the last one, and that was just a matter of keeping the right count. Move that stitch marker up, please, and then let's continue to round number 4. So round number 4 is another really easy one. So it's gonna be 2 into the first one and then the next 2 are by themselves. So how I would count it is I say 1 and 2 into the first and then the next 2 are by themselves. So just 1 and progress to 2. So let's review that again. So 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2 into the first and then 1 and progress to 2. That's how I say it in my head. I know it kind of probably doesn't make any sense, but that's how I would do it, and this is round number 4. So 2 into the first and then 1 into the next 2. So I'm finishing up round number 4. There was just 1 into the last one, so if you're keeping in count, it's just that's what it will be. And then we're moving up to round number 5. So 5 this time is going to be 2 into the first one and then 1 into the next 3. So how I count it in my head is I go 1 and 2 into the same and then 1, progress to 2, progress to 3. That's how I count it in my head. So let's review again. This is round number 5, so it's gonna be 2 in the first one, so 1 and 2 in the first and then the next 3 are by themselves. So 1 and progress to 2 and progress to 3. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 5. So I just finished up round number 5. You will notice that if you really look at it, it looks like a stop sign. So you have the 8 sides. Remember we started off with 8 stitches, so you end up with 8 side looking ideas. This is why the increase will be changing in the future. It's not changing yet, but it changes midway through so that you end up with more of a round circle. Let's move on to round number 6. So round number 6, we're going to change the location of where the increase is. So right now we've been doing it as soon as you start up a round. This time we're gonna wait a little bit before we do that. So how I'm gonna count it for you is that if you remember that there was an increase and then 3, an increase and then 3. So how I would do it if I were you and you were me, I would do this. Do 1 single crochet into the first 2. So 1 and progress number to 2. Now this is where I would start the physical counting of your stitches. So the next one is gonna be an increase, so there's gonna be 1 and 2 into the first and then the next 4 in a row are each going to be a single crochet. So just go 1 and progress to 2 and 3 and 4. Then the next one is an increase again. So you're just gonna do 1 and 2 into the same and you're gonna notice how it's gonna start taking a round shape in comparison to where it was. So it's gonna be 2 into that one and then 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then increase into the next and continue. So I'll meet you up close to the end. I won't meet you right at the end because we had to delay where we did the increase. You're gonna have 2 single crochets before by the time you get to the end. So there will be 2 that are sitting by themselves. So please do the same idea going all the way around for round number 6. So as we finish round number 6, I got 2 into the next one. So there will be 2 that are by themselves by the time you get back to the stitch marker. And that's because we changed the location of where the increase was. So that was round number 6. Round number 7, after I moved up the stitch marker, probably shouldn't have used pink in retrospect. So number 7, we're now going to put the increase back to where it was before. So we keep alternating where the increase is so that we can keep the round shape looking really good. So round number 7 is 2 into the first one. So 1 and 2 and then the next 5 in a row are each going to be a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and then the increase is in the next one. So put 1 and 2 into the next one and then the next 5 by themselves and you'll repeat that all the way around. This is round number 7. Okay, I've just finished up round number 7 and now I'm going to begin round number 8. Now round number 8 we're gonna change the increase location again. So here's how I would count it. So the first 3 are gonna be by themselves. So just count 1, 2 and 3 and then the increase is starting. So increase here, so put 2 into the same one and now the next 6 will be by themselves. So we just count 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and then the next two, one it has 2 into the same one, and then 6. So I'll meet you close to the end. The last 3 will be by themselves following this because we're changing the location of where the increase is. So number 8 is going to be 6 single crochets that separate the increase stitches as you go. Please do this. I'll see you at the end of this round. So when you got around a number 8, the last 3 were in by themselves. So the last 3 single crochets by themselves when you hit that stitch marker. Let's begin round number 9. 9, we're gonna start the increase immediately. So 1 and 2, and then the next 7 are by themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then the next one has 2 in them. So 1 and 2, and then the next 7 are by themselves. Please do this. This is round number 9. So I just finished off round number 9. So there was 7 in a row before you end up getting there. So that is continuing along now. Round number 10, we're now just gonna do 1 single crochet into each. So right now it's very close to a flat disc. So now we're gonna start bowling and start to slowly being able to get it to bowl up just like you see at the bottom of the cap. So let's continue. Round number 10 is just 1 single crochet into each. You don't need to count anything. Just make sure 1 single crochet goes into each of the stitches all the way around for round number 10. Okay, just finishing up round number 10. Round number 11, we're going to change the location of the increase again. So here we go. The first 4 are by themselves. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now here comes the increase. So the next one has 2 in them, and now the next 8 are all by themselves. So just count them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then do your increase again. So 1 and 2, and continue all the way around. So when you get back to the stitch marker here, the last 4 will be by themselves if you're keeping account correctly. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 11. So I'm just finishing up round number 11. The last 4 were by themselves because we were keeping count. Now round number 12. There's gonna be 2 into the first one, so we're gonna move the increase back to the beginning again, and now the next 9 will each be by themselves. So it'll be 2 and then 9, 2 and 9. This is round number 12. Okay, moving on to round number 13. A nice easy round again, and now it's just 1 single crochet into each stitch going all the way around for round number 13. So no need to count, and I'll see you at the end of this round, round 13. Moving on to round number 14. We're now going to change the area of where it's doing the increase. So let's count together. So we're gonna do the first 5 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now let's start the increase counting from this point. So we're gonna put 2 into the next, and then 10 single crochets in a row. So 2 and then 10, and when you get all the way back around, the last 5 here will be 1 single crochet each. So please do this all the way around. So 10 or 2 into the same, and then 10 on its own. So let's move on to round number 15. So the last 5 were here by itself if you recall. So let's do 15. So we're gonna do 2 into the first one. So 1 and 2, and then 11, and then 2, and then 11. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 15. Let's move on to round number 16. 16, simple, just 1 single crochet into each. No need to count, just a matter of 1 single crochet in each. I'll see you at the end of round number 16. Let's move on to round number 17. We're gonna now then do the increase. So we're going to wait a little bit. So let's do the first 6 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then the increase. So 1 and 2, and now the next 12 in a row will each be 1 single crochet, and then 2 into the next, and then 12. When you come all the way around, the last 6 here should be 1 single crochet in each if you're keeping the right count. Please do this all the way around. So 2 and 12s. Let's begin round number 18. This is the last growth round before we then start working up our way up the cat. So let's begin this one. So we're gonna do 2 into the first one. So 1 and 2, and then the next 13 in a row are 1 single crochet. So 2, and then 13, 2, and then 13. Please do this all the way around. So I'm now starting number 19. So 19 all the way for another 4 inches. So once we do the first round, we're going to then take a stitch marker and mark this round, and then continually go in a single crochet round and around and around until the stitch marker in the next section are measuring 4 inches. So what I'm going to do then is let's just do 19 together. So it's just one single crochet in each. I'm going all the way around. Mark the stitch marker as you're going past it, and then we're gonna put a stitch marker when we get all the way around in this round, and then that becomes your marking to mark the 4 inches that you're going to need to do. And you're basically crawling up the side of the cat at this moment and then working its way to the mouth section. So I've just finished off round number 19. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place a stitch marker right here on this round, and I'm just grabbing a piece of the strand here. And I want to continue now to do a single crochet round and around and around. I would move up your other stitch marker as you're going, leave this one in place, and then once you get to 4 inches, then we're going to then continue along in this tutorial. So I have 2 samples made here. So the other one you can see where I left my 4-inch mark right here, and I just kept on going. Just take your tape measure, measure it out, and then you're good to go. So let's now continue, and I'll see you get that done, and we'll see you in the next round where we're gonna start doing some decreasing and then make our way to the face and the head. But we got a little bit of work after we do this 4 inches first. So let's please do that next. So let's continue working on the pig here. It's absolutely fabulous, and we're now going to move on. So you should have 4 inches done. It's just about here, and then we're going to be adding on some stuff. So what we need to pay attention to the most is that we need to know where we're going to stuff the eye, or put the eyes in, and stuff the head. So you'll want to stuff it before you're inserting the eyes, so you get the kind of the orientation. So at this point we are right here in the tutorial. So we just completed 4 inches, and then we're just going to go through the top of this whole section right here. So there you'll see a different version of this on camera. There was actually a mistake in this pattern as we were filming it, and the Yarn Inspirations design team has fixed that. So you won't see these corrections right here. So let's continue to go, and the ears are exactly the same as the cat, as well as the snout is the same as the unicorn, and then we'll of course cover the pigtail, and the feet are the same as the unicorn as well. So the 4 inches is complete. It's approximately right here from this stitch marker where we last left you on the cat, and we've got that done. So what I want to do now is place a new stitch marker at that spot, or you can move that other one up if you wish, and just mark it so that we know our revolutions once again. So let's continue, and let's move on to round number 1. And in round number 1 we're now going to start some decreasing going on. So the round 1, the first 2 to come together, so just going in, pull through, and then come into the next one, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops, and that's a 2 together single crochet. So the next 13 are single crochets, and then 2 together again, and then 13, and then 2, and keep doing that all the way around. This is round number 1. So I've just gotten all the way back around, and just come to the last one and move it up. So rounds 2, 3, and 4 is just simply one single crochet in each stitch going all the way around. Move the stitch marker as you're going around. So rounds 2, 3, and 4, one single crochet. Please do that now. Now let's move on to round number 5. The first 2 are going to come together, so 1 and 2 together, and then the next 12 are going to be by itself. So it's 2 and then together, and then 12. Please do that all the way around for round number 5. Now that I'm all the way back around, rounds number 6, 7, and 8 is just one single crochet in each going all the way around. So please do 6, 7, and 8. Let's move on to number 9. The first 2 become together, 1 and 2, and then what we have here is the next 11 by itself. So 11 and 2, 11 and 2. Please do that all the way around for round number 9. So let's move on to rounds 10 and 11. It's one single crochet in each. It's going to get a little bit faster as we're continuing along now, because we're eliminating more and more stitches as we're going. 10 and 11, one single crochet in each. Let's go for round number 12. Round number 12 is the first 2 are coming together, and then 10 by itself. So then 2 together and 10. Please do this for round number 12. Let's go for round number 13. Is one single crochet in each, round 13. Moving on to round number 14 is putting the 2 together, the first 2, and then we're going to do 9. So 9 and then 2, 9 and 2. Do that all the way around, please. Round number 15 is just one single crochet in each all the way around, round number 15. So round number 16. We're going to change the location of where we're doing the decrease so we don't end up with any lines. So the first 4 are going to be 1 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we've just changed the location now, and now the next 2 become together, and then it's going to be 8 and then 2, 8 and 2 all the way around, and then the last 4 will be by itself if you're keeping the right counts. So 8 and 2 please. So we're getting closer and closer. Don't give up now, and it's 1 single crochet in each of the stitches for round 17. Round 17, 1 single crochet in each. Round number 18 we're going to start off with 2 together and then put the next 7 in a row by itself. So 2 and 7. Please do this for round number 18. Round number 19 is 1 single crochet in each all the way around. Round number 19. Let's begin round number 20. We're going to change the location of the decrease again so we don't end up with lines. So the first 3 will be by itself. So 1, 2, 3, and then the next 2 become together. So 1 and 2, and then it's going to be 6 in a row and 2, 6 in a row and 2, and the final last 3 will be by themselves. Please do round number 20. Round number 21 is 1 single crochet in each. Please tell me this does not look like Barbara Papa. Remember that Canadian cartoon? Here's the story of Barbara Papa. Ba-do-boo-boo. Clickety click. Barbara trick. This is round number 21. Round number 22, another decrease is going to happen. So we're going to put the first 2 together and then 5. 2 together and 5. Please do this for round number 22. Okay, round number 23 is 1 single crochet in each all the way around. Round number 23. Round number 24, and after we're done this one we're going to stuff the body and position the eyes. So we're going to change the location of the decrease again. So it's just going to be the first 2 by itself. So 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are together, and then here's the repeat for the remaining of the round. It's going to be 4 and 2, 4 and 2. The last 2 will be by itself. So please do this for round number 24, and then we'll begin some fun stuff. So now I'm just kind of looking at the photograph and seeing where I can position my eyes. It decreases around here somewhere, so I'm gonna, let's just commit. Let's just have some fun. So stick your eye into between a stitch and stay on the same one, and it's about 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 12. And if you're doubting it, now's the time to doubt and remove the eye. If I were you and you were me and I was a little paranoid, because I can be paranoid, then what I would do is probably crochet the snout, and then put the snout on and then position the eyes and then finish the top. That's kind of what I would do. Once you're satisfied with this, then you will take the back of your washers, or take the washer, 1 for each, and just slip your hand in behind. And push the washer on. There's 1. So I guess I'm committing, folks. You want to massage your pig too so that it doesn't look lumpy. Nobody likes a lumpy pig. Okay, so so it's now snapped in. So give your pig a good massage, you know, up, down, in, out, bouncy, bouncy. And now we're going to finish the remaining of the top, and then so as we now continue round number 25, if you feel you need to add more stuffing, you got to just continually do it. Try to keep the fiber out of the stitch work so it doesn't want to pull through the stitches. In round number 25, it's just 1 single crochet in each. Please do this, and I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, round number 26, the first 2 become together, and then 3, 2 together, and then 3. Round number 27, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first one, and we're just changing the location of the decrease, and the next 2 come together. So then the repeat for this round is then 2 by itself and 2 together, 2 by itself and 2 together. The last one will be by itself. Round number 27. Round number 28, we're going to place 1 single crochet, sorry, the first 2 become together. Let me just take a quick peek. 2 together and then 1 by itself. So the repeat is 2 together, 1 by itself. So please do that all the way around. Round number 29, the final round, we're just going to put 2 together the entire time around. So put every 2 together, and then we're going to leave a long strand and then just feed a tapestry needle through and close the remaining hole. Please do this all the way around. Round number 29, the final. Once you've come all the way around, just cut your yarn now and just cut it long enough so you can use that as a tapestry needle sewing, and just pull this yarn through that final loop. You can pull out your stitch marker unless you need to know where the front is, but if you've already put it in the eyes, then you know where it is. Unless you're like your parent, you got eyes in the back of your head. I don't even know if that's funny or not. Oh well. So let's continue, and we're just gonna throw the tapestry needle on, and what I want to do is like clothesline it. So just collecting each, and then I'm gonna pull it shut at the end of the revolution. I get a sick joy out of pulling it all at one time and seeing the hole completely close instead of pulling it as I go. So that's just kind of my own thing. So let's pull it shut. Yeah, was that not satisfying? So we just want to now just tie a knot. This yarn is really easy to be able to hide imperfections. It's one of the fabulous things about it. So you're just going to pull a knot. You may want to do it twice, especially if it's being handled at all. My stuffies, because I don't have kids and stuff, it just is more decor. So once I have that tied in, I'm just going to go in the project and back out somewhere else, and just carefully just go in a different spot than where you came out in that kind of like thing, but don't let it do any kind of dents or anything. And then once you're satisfied with that, you can safely cut it, and there is your egghead aka pig. So that's kind of fun, and now you can do the decorations for it as we're going to go along. So in the tutorial we're going to be moving on to the cat for the ears. We're going to be doing the hoofs, so that's the unicorn, and then I'm going to show you the pig tail now, and the snout is part of the unicorn as well. So I'll show those, but I'm just going to show you the pigtail now, and you can get that ready, and then when you're ready to sew it on, because when you see it on the character it's pretty cute. So that's it, and let's move on to the pigtail. So let's do the pigtail. Leave an extra long strand, and then you can use that to sew it onto your character when you're ready. And put your hook on, and we want to chain a total of 14. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Once you have 14 done, you're going to go 4 chain from the hook. This is how we did the mane of the unicorn. So 1 2 3, go to the back hump. And then somebody emailed me the other day, said, do they really have to go to the back hump? Do what you think is best for your lifestyle. So if you don't want to do the back hump, that's up to you. So you're going to put 2 into the 4th chain from the hook, and then each one of the rest of the chains you're going to apply 3 double crochet, and because you're applying 3 double crochet in each of the chain, it's going to cause the natural curly of the piggy tail. So continue to do that, and I'll see you at the end of this tail section, and then I'll move you on in the tutorial. And also you're gonna want to put all your stuff together. So I would probably do all your components and then sew it onto your character when you're good and ready. So now that I've come all the way to the end, I'm gonna have 2 long tails. Oh, yarn tails. So we're gonna have a curly. So if your curly's not curling properly, all you just gotta do is just take the end and see how it's corkscrewing this way, like over. Then if you keep corkscrewing it that way, it'll realign itself to what it should be. See? Like that. And therefore you can do that. So one of these yarn strands you can get rid of with your tapestry needle, leave the other one on, and then when you're ready you can just sew it to the back of the piggy, just like that. So as we get started, we're going to do our ears first. The ears are 2 triangles. There's a main color and a color A, and once those 2 are done, you're just going to put them on top of each other, and then looking at the gray side here, the main color sorry, the color A, you're just going to single crochet along the top and then put 3 singles at the top piece, and then single crochet down at the bottom just like you see, so it makes it a little bit nicer. And so you will see that the back side of here looks like the main color, and the front side has the interior of the ear. So it's really easy to be able to do this. I'm only going to demonstrate the ear once, and then because there's 4 pieces that you need, so you just need 2 sets there, and then another, sorry, 1 set here and then another set for the other ear. So let's begin to do the ears next. And grabbing your same yarn, you can decide which color you want to start off with first, and then we're going to begin and using the same size hook too. So let's begin to do the ear. You want to chain a total of 10. So with the slip knot already on there, chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Simply go second chain from the hook and just get the back hump of the chain and just single crochet yourself all the way across that chain, and this will be row number 1. So take your time and make sure that you have only 9 stitches left, so you may want to count them as you go just to make sure that they're both right and you get the right size. So just go all the way across. Once you're all the way across, you're just gonna turn your work, and it says row number 2 and alternative rows. So every other row is the same thing. So all it is chain 1 and 1 single crochet into each. So there should be a total of 9 single crochets across. So I would count them. So this is number 2 and 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, and 9 is the last one. So now we're gonna begin the next row. There is a typo there, so just keep on going. So the first one you're gonna chain up 1, and the first 2 are gonna come together. So just put them together, 2 together. And you're going to single crochet across, except for the very final 2. You're gonna put the very final 2 together. So when you see that there's only 2 stitches left, you're just gonna put them as a 2 together, single crochet, and then you'll turn your work. Now this is an alternative row, so it's just chain 1 and put 1 single crochet into each. So this is giving it an opportunity to keep the triangle shape without peeking off too early. So just single crochet yourself across. Now the next one we want to keep on going, so just chain 1. You're gonna put the first 2 together again, and then single crochet across, and then you're gonna put the final 2 together when you get there. And then turn your work, chain up 1, and it's just 1 single crochet in each. Okay, turn your work, and we want to do another decrease, so chain up 1, put the first 2 together. There's only 1 stitch left in the middle there, and then the next 2 are together. Sorry, the last 2 are together, so don't forget to do that. Then you're gonna turn your work, chain 1, 1 single crochet into each of the 3 that are there, and then finally the very last one, turn your work, chain 1 and put the 3 together. So you're doing 3 together, single crochet, and then that's it. So you're gonna do all of your ears the exact same way, just like that, and then you just trim off your yarn, and then when you're ready to put them together, then that will be your next step. So I have already these made, so let me demonstrate on how to put those together. So let's start doing the ears, and we want to put the 2 pieces together. So when you're looking at it, I want you to look at the gray side, the color A. This is the interior of the ear. The other one is the main color, which will be the back of the ear. So I want you to look at it as if you're looking at the front of the cat. Put your hook in to both sides, and you're just gonna trace along both of these together and pinch them, and leave that yarn tail long so that you can deal with it later. So we're gonna do a standing single, and we're just gonna match the side of the ears together. And then when you get to the top of the peak, you're just gonna put 3 single crochets as it goes over. So you're noticing that you're looking at the right side here with the color A, which will be the interior of the ear that you'll see when you're looking at the character. So you'll notice that the main color is kind of like doing the kind of the framework. So just go into the peak, put your yarn tails on the inside of this that are at the peak. This will provide a little bit of stuffing on the inside. And then come down the other side. So it gives you information on the pattern on how many stitches to put in, but honestly you just want to match it, and it's really not that hard, to be honest with you. So you're gonna do your ears this way and then put them on to the side once you're done, and then carry on and do other components. So just match it and then just leave the yarn tails long so you can deal with that at the end when you're doing all the finishing. So get both of your sets of ears done, and I will see you then into the next section, and we're gonna move on to doing. So let's begin and do the snout, creating a slip knot to begin. We're gonna create an oval shape for the snout, so let's begin. So you're gonna chain total 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Second chain from the hook, I want you to place a single crochet, and then the next 2 stitches that we want to do is going to be a single crochet. So 1 and 2. And then finally the last one here is gonna be 3 single crochets, and we're gonna turn this around and work on the opposite side. So we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 and turn it over. And then we're gonna do single crochet in the last in the next work on the opposite side, 1 single crochet in the next 2. So just make sure you get the next 2. So 1 and 2, and finally it states here is at 2 single crochets in the last stitch. So 1 and 2, and that's where you'll want to place your stitch marker when you're coming all the way around. And let's proceed on to the second round. Let's keep an eye on our counts. So in the very first next one that we have, we're gonna do 2 single crochets in the first one. So 1 and 2, and 1 single crochet in each of the next 2. So 1 and 2 by itself. 2 single crochets in each of the next 3. So we have 1 and 2, and then the next one is 1 and 2, and then the next one is 1 and 2, like that. And then we have 1 single crochet in the next 2. So 1 and 2, and in the last 2 stitches that you have left going around, there's going to be 2 into each. So 1 and 2, and the last one here is 1 and 2, and move up your stitch marker, and let's continue on to round number 3. So round number 3, we're going to put in 1 single crochet in the first one, and then 2 into the next. So 1 and 2, and it says 1 single crochet in the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 single crochets in the next single crochet, 1 single crochet in the next 3 times. So the next one has 2. So 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next. So the next one has 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next, and one more time. So the next one has 1, whoops, has 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next, just like that. 1 single crochet in each of the next 2. So 1 and 2, and then 1 single, and then 2 single crochets into the next one. So 1 and 2, 1 single crochet in the next one, and then the last one here has 2. I'm really not sure if I did that right, but it still looks good, so I'm going to keep it as is. So if it's wrong, you can let me know in the comments of this video, but it does work the way I did it. I think it's right, but let's move on now to round number 4. In round number 4 we're just going to work in the back loops only. So if you're new to crochet, there's always 2 loops. It's harder to see on this product, but the first loop is the front loop and the second loop is the back loop. So in the back loop only, just do 1 single crochet. This makes it give it a flat front by doing this. So 1 back loop crochet, single crochet all the way around to the stitch marker, and then we'll finish up the final 3 rounds after that. Okay, rounds 5, 6 and 7, just 3 rounds, is just 1 single crochet in the regular stitch all the way around. So do those 3 rounds and then fasten off, and then you'll be able to position this onto your character as well. So look at the photograph when you're doing any positioning and as a general marking point, and do that. So these 3 rounds here are 1 single crochet in each. If you obviously want to make it bigger, then just keep on going, but this is what it states in the pattern. So continue along, and you'll want to stuff the snout also with a little bit of stuffing when you go to sew it onto your character. So let's begin to work on the hoofs. So the bottom part of the hoof is first, and it's in the aqua, bleached aqua that is in the pattern itself, but I'm going to change mine to purple like I told you I was going to. So we're just going to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and we're going to work on the spiral as always, and we're going to put the first 8 in the first single crochet. So 1, 2, it's going to be tight. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And place your stitch marker on the 8th one so you can see it. And let's begin round number 2. Round number 2, we're going to start immediately in the next stitch if you can see where to count it, but the goal is on this next round is to make sure that you do have 16. So what I like to do, like I showed you probably before, is that you just you count it out, so they put 2 in each. So I say 1 and 1, so there's 2 in that one, and then this is 2 and 2, 3, 3, this is 4, 4, this is 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, and in the last one here you're gonna have 8 and 8, and move up that stitch marker, and then let's continue to round 3. So round 3 we're gonna put 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next, and I want you to continue that all the way around. So 2 in the next, and then 1, 2, and then 1. So continue on to round number 4. So we're going to place 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are by themselves, so 1 and 2 by itself. So 2 in the next, and then 2 by itself. Please do this all the way around for number 4. Round number 5, we're just going to work in the back loops only. It's just 1 single crochet in each, and if you're following the chain the counts, there's only 32 in there, so 32. So back loop only, 1 single crochet. Round number 6 and 7, going back to the regular stitch work, just 1 single crochet in each, going all the way around. So please do rounds 6 and 7. Round number 8, we're going to start decreasing, so we're going to put the first 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2. So 2 together, 1 single crochet in the next 2 for round number 8. Round number 9, you're going to do 1 single crochet into each, going all the way around. Round number 9. Round number 10, we're going to do a reduction, so we're just going to put the first 2 together, and then 1 into the next one. So 2 together, and then 1 into the next one. Do that all the way around, and we're going to be breaking this color, but when we break it, we be strategic about it because you can save yourself some work later. I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and what I want to do when I go to do this is that I want to leave an extra long tail here, and I want to leave this on the outside of the hoof. It's a clover hoof, so we're going to be using that strand later to be able to loop it around so that it can create that indentation that is familiar. So I'm just gonna pull up and just pull this out, and we're going to continue then into round number 11 with the main color again. In my case it'll be that hazy aqua. So we're just gonna join this, and it says to join with the slip stitch in the back loop only. So I'm gonna join right on that last one that I just was in. So let me just move up the stitch marker so I can see it. I just want to keep things out of my way. So I'm just going to join with the slip stitch in the back loop only. Leave this strand out, and I'm going to apply one back loops only. So one single crochet in the back loops only. Sorry, I'm reading the instructions as I go. So continue along, and then just go all the way around for me, and then meet me back here in just a moment. So finally 12, 13, 14, and 15 are the finals, and you're just gonna do one single crochet in each stitch going all the way around. If you would like to make the arms or the legs longer, just continue to do more rounds, but other than that, that's what you have to do. So just 4 rounds of single crochet, and then lightly stuff this item, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the clover hoof in just a moment. So I now have the hoof leg complete. So now what I want to do is that I want to pull out the stitch marker, and whenever doing these, because all 4 are the same, I would make sure that you measure in the sense that looking at it, making sure it looks good. So we want to lightly stuff this leg. You'll want to get quite a bit at the base where the hoof opens up. Now what I want to do is that I want to take that purple strand that we had in there, and I want to put it onto a tapestry needle. And what we're going to do is that we're gonna go right back to the beginning here, and then back out to where it pops up and pull. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna create an indentation. And give it a bit of a pull. And I'm a little bit paranoid about stuff popping out, so I'm probably gonna go 3 times, and then it's got more than just one strand that's pulling that in. So 1, that was the second, and the 3rd time is a charm. Once I'm happy with that, I'm just gonna tie it. Well, that's pretty cute. So I'm gonna tie it so it causes a knot. This yarn, as I mentioned before, is really easy to hide knots. So just tie a knot, and then I'm gonna just dive it into the project and out through somewhere else in the hoof, and then back in. And all I'm just doing is just weaving it in and out 3 times in. And then once I'm happy with that, I can just trim it, and I just got to do the other 3. And that's what it looks like. So continue to do the other 3, and then I'll be back in just a moment. So we're now at the point in the tutorial where you will have all of your stuff done. You can do a little bit of embroidery if you're comfortable with that. You can also change anything that you wish. Just sew on, just look at the character, sew it on. You know, sometimes I actually, on my unicorn, I moved his legs in and put it in. I don't know, you can do whatever that you feel is good for you, and just use the photograph to be able to position and sewing it, and then you'll have a very lovable pig ready to display for yourself or give it away to a family or a friend. That's it for now. Have a good one. It's Mikey on behalf of yarnspirations.com.